Only injuries we have from the game was Aaron Banks' shoulder. We'll look at it tomorrow. Probably going to be at least a week or so, though.
What did you have like initial?
He had an abductor strain. We got an MRI on it yesterday. He's going to be a couple weeks.
You said a couple weeks?
Yeah.
What was your assessment of Trey Lance's debut?
Some good, some bad. Made some big plays. I mean, obviously the one touchdown, missed a couple, but you know, I thought it was a good first day, though. I mean, some stuff to go over on film that we can improve on, and some stuff that he did good also.
Why did you decide to keep him in the pocket and not use his legs to feature the full spectrum of his talents?
I mean, touchdown, he was out of the pocket.
Half roll, you tackle block.
Well, you got to pull up to throw back across the field. You know,
Why not more than that?
because that's what we wanted to do.
Is that the first look on that design play? Because obviously it's right in front of him. And do you like that he came off with him, obviously with somebody who was breaking deep at the time?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what you're trying to do. You're trying to run a rollout. And if they don't cut it, you keep rolling out and throwing the move. And if they do, you pull up outside the numbers and throw back, and did a pretty good job at it.
Without diving into the film, how do you assess the 4 sacks that you took while he was on the field? And just how much responsibility falls on him versus the offensive line?
I'm not sure on all of them. I mean, I'll have to look at the tape. You know, I know we were in a long third down, I believe, on the first one. I couldn't tell. They blitzed. I couldn't tell if our back tripped our right guard or not. You know, he's got a tough deal going against that player right there. But I didn't see all the others. I'll see when I get the tape, though.
What is that just how on point he was with decision making? Did the ball go where it should have gone? It just kind of, you know, all the mechanics of getting in and out of the huddle.
Yeah, there was some good and some bad. I mean, by no means was it perfect. Definitely missed a couple. There's a couple of spots that you'd like him to go to different places. Sometimes a couple balls that he would have sailed on them. I think he'd like to have back, but he also came out pretty good too, making the right plays, getting the right spots. I think he had a couple drops there, you know, especially on a third down. That I think he could have kept the drive going if we had caught it. But it was a good first day. I mean, I didn't want it to go perfect for him. He likes some things that he can learn from, and be a lot of things we can go over tomorrow.
What other thing that you wanted to do was see how we handle play calls and relaying those in the huddle. How did he do in that aspect?
I thought he had a good first day. Still a work in progress. I want him to improve. It wasn't perfect. So until he's perfect, we're going to keep working on it.
How beneficial is it that you got to see him in a variety of different situations? You got the ball on your own 1-yard line, you threw it on first down. You got to run the 2-minute offense at the end of the half, 2 different possessions.
Yeah, I was real happy with that. And I thought he got a number of situations. He was in a bunch of down and distances and was able to play in all the spots of the field. So you wish you put him in a lot of situations in practice. You wanted to come up in the game, and I guess for the about 2 full quarters that he played, you know, I thought he got more situations than I thought he would.
You mentioned or not, but you had him throw from the 1-yard line. You know, the first snap, it looked like he was looking deep initially. I'm saying with a rookie, your first game, give him a handoff or whatever, easy to throw. I don't know, does that say something about your confidence in him?
I mean, I do have confidence in him, but there's not much to learn from your first time running on the 1-yard line, so you'd rather start it out the harder way, and whether it's good or bad, at least it's experience when it doesn't matter. So, and for him to make a big play like that guy wasn't the first read. The fullback in the flat is, and he took a hitch up and hit Charlie and made a big play, which was nice.
On the touchdown, it seems Jimmy Garoppolo was celebrating as much or more as anyone on the field. I know we make a very big deal of the quarterback situation, but is that indicative of their actual relationship?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think those guys genuinely like each other. I mean, they've known each other for a couple months now, but being around them, I mean, we enjoy our quarterback room. Watching film, just hanging out. We eat dinner together, and I know those guys are pulling each other all the time.
All right, so that's thoughts from Kyle Shanahan, the head coach. And granted, I mean, it's moments after the game. Sure. The emotions are high. He hasn't looked at film, and then he's got to walk into an auditorium and face a bunch of us peppering him with questions about Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. On Trey Lance, he called it's a good first day, and I have to agree with that, huh?
Yeah, and I think when you're looking at this game, you think about what you saw. You saw a guy with first-round talent. You saw him with a big arm. You saw the things that you wanted to see. and then you saw some of the not so good. But a lot of that, when you saw some of the incomplete passes, for instance, you saw, you know, Jennings make some great catch, but then you saw James, who's been on this team, number 13, you know, drop some crucial balls. When you're playing in the National Football League, Vern, you know that veteran players, if you make a catch or you make a play, and like Cal talked about, to extend the third down to now get to the new set of downs, that propels you. So when you did that, you saw young Trey kind of struggle.
When you see a quarterback extend plays the way Trey did, and I mean, you played the game, you know, when you're a back or receiver and the ball bounces off of your hands, nobody feels worse than they do, huh?
No question. You saw it tonight, because what he does to extend plays in the pocket and wear defenses out, if you can make those catches, especially those difficult catches to extend plays, you're going to wear that defense out.